said, well, don't read his biography. They're going to do that later. I said, yeah, okay. He said, well, so the biography is his obituary. You're the eulogy. I said, well, he's not dead. And the NCO looked at me and said, I know, sir, with that look of, but that's the only way I can explain it to you because you are too dumb. So, with that said, it's hard to get up here and talk about Colonel Croll because he's the complete package. There's a whole lot you do in 27 years, and trying to summate that in 5 minutes is really quite impossible. I'm not going into the father and husband because there's no way I'm not doing what y'all just did, so we're not going there. But I will touch on the soldier, the mentor, the academician, the leader, and the clinician that Colonel Croll has been in his stead during the time he served in the U.S. Army. As a soldier, he was the Distinguished Medical Graduate. He earned the very difficult to achieve Expert Field Medical Badge. When his nation called, he deployed to Bosnia and Iraq. He's maintained the best haircut in the U.S. inventory. And his physique is second to none. As a matter of fitness, I hope to look like him when I'm 35. As a mentor, he's been a residency director, helping junior doctors, tutelage along the line, as a senior officer to NCOs and junior officers, teaching them the profession of arms. As a USU's professor, teaching medical students the basics of science and the compassion and care of human beings. And even to myself, as we worked in the Department of Surgery, and I came in and tried to take stead, and he was the chief of anesthesia. And it's kind of like working with your big brother in the audience who's more accomplished and older and more senior and more rank, and you get up there and try to look like you know what you're doing, and at the end you turn around and go, how was that? Was that okay? Yeah, you're fine, don't worry. Okay. So for that, thank you for your mentorship, Scott. As an academician, he was a visiting professor on multiple occasions. He's got a litany of academic publications that have furthered the care of our patients in the anesthesia division. He was a Duke Fellowship graduate. It's a little bit of a hard place to get into, in case you didn't know, and has earned the esteemed A designator that he proudly bears on his officer brief. As a leader, he's been a chief of anesthesia at community hospitals such as this, in addition to the medical centers, where you take all comers and a large staff of not only providers, but anesthetists and techs and all the people who make people go to sleep and then safely wake back up. To that end, it's almost like he's being a pilot. You know, they make sure the thing takes off safely and then lands safely. Everything in between is them reading a newspaper in front of the machine. To that end, though, after his fellowship, he also served as our chief of pain management, where he led a division in the forefront of care of alleviating the suffering of our soldiers who suffer from chronic pain in a way that's not just hand them more pills and send them on their way, but to impact their functional nature and make them all they can be. And finally, there is no higher stead in your division as a medical officer to be the consultant to the Surgeon General, for which Scott served for 5 years as a consultant to the Surgeon General for anesthesia, where he behind the scenes very thanklessly puppeteered the movement of all of his colleagues with respect, with dignity, and with the ability to make sure that we were meeting the nation's requirements for its mission at any given moment. As a clinician, Scott's done thousands of cases, right? And he's touched many lives, bringing the skill set and compassion for relieving pain, relieving suffering, and allowing people to have safe operations. He's the good guy. He's the one with the medications that makes people happy. So he's always smiling, of course. It's the surgeons that have to frown because we're getting ready to hurt somebody. But I'll tell you that it's the greatest honor a colleague can give you to let you care for them or your family member. And I will tell you straight to your face, I had surgery here last year, and you can guess who did my anesthesia. That would be one Dr. Croll. Thank you for waking me up. So, on behalf of your brothers and sisters in arms, past and present, the Department of the Army, a large nation of citizens, we want to thank you for your service. Mission complete. Godspeed in your future endeavors. And in honor and tradition of the military, we'd like to give you a bunch of stuff now if we can. Thank you, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now retiring Colonel Scott M. Croll. Colonel Scott M. Croll is a native of San Jose, California. He is a board-certified anesthesiologist and a fellowship trained in acute pain medicine. He holds a Bachelor of Science in Biology with a Distinguished Military Graduate Honors from Oregon State University, Corvallis, a Doctorate of Medicine from the Uniformed Service University of Health Sciences, Bethesda, and a Fellowship in Regional Anesthesia and Acute Pain Medicine from Duke University Medical Center. Colonel Croll's previous assignments include anesthesiology consultant to the Office of the Surgeon General, anesthesiology market lead for Colorado Springs, enhanced multi-service market director of Mountain Post Pain Clinic, and chief of anesthesiology and perioperative service for Evans Army Community Hospital. Clinical associate professor of anesthesiology in F. Edward Herbert School of Medicine, Uniformed Service University of Health Sciences, Bethesda. Chair of Anesthesiology Department for Triplet Army Medical Center, Chief of Anesthesiology 86 Combat Support Hospital in Iraq Theater Consultant in Pain Medicine and Anesthesiology Multinational Division North, Baghdad, Iraq. Associate Program Director and Resiliency Director for National Capital Consultorium in Walter Reed Army Medical Center. Assistant Professor of Anesthesiology, F. Edward Herbert School of Medicine, Uniformed Service University of Health Sciences in Bethesda. Co-director and co-founder of the Tri-Service DoD Fellowship in Acute Pain Medicine and Regional Anesthesiology for Walter Reed Army Medical Center. Fellow of Acute Pain Medicine and Regional Anesthesia for Duke University Medical Center. Assistant Chief of Anesthesiology 28th Combat Support Hospital, Operation Iraqi Freedom, Iraq. Assistant Chief of Anesthesiology, DeWitt Army Community Hospital. Chief of Anesthesiology 28th Combat Support Hospital, Operation Joint Forge. Staff Anesthesiologist for Walter Reed Army Medical Center. Transitional Internship and Residency in Anesthesiology at Walter Reed Army Medical Center in Washington, D.C. Colonel Croll is a graduate of Army Medical Department Officer Basic Course, the advanced course, the U.S. Army Command and General Staff College, ILE. He is a diplomat of the American Board of Anesthesiology. Colonel Croll holds an academic appointment as a clinical associate professor of anesthesiology in the Uniformed Service University of Health Sciences, Bethesda. He deployed 3 times in support of Operations Joint Forge, Iraqi Freedom, and New Dawn. Colonel Croll's awards and decorations include the Meritorious Service Medal with 4 oak leaf clusters, Army Commendation Medal, 3 oak leaf clusters, Army Achievement Medal, 2 oak leaf clusters, National Defense Service Medal with the Bronze Service Star, Armed Forces Expeditionary Medal, Iraq Campaign Medal with 3 campaign stars, Global War on Terrorism Expeditionary Medal, Global War on Terrorism Service Medal, Army Overseas Ribbon, NATO Medal, Meritorious Unit Commendation with 1 oak leaf cluster, an Army Superior Unit Award. He is authorized to wear the Expert Field Medical Badge, the Order of Military Medical Merit Medallion, and he also holds the prestigious Army Surgeon General's 9 Alpha designator for anesthesiology. Colonel Croll is married to the former Patricia Maria Jacques of Fairmont, West Virginia, also a graduate of West Virginia University. They have 2 children, Melissa and Marcus. Attention to orders. To all who should see these presents, greeting. This is to certify that the President of the United States of America, authorized by Executive Order 16 January 1969, has awarded the Meritorious Service Medal for exceptional meritorious service while serving in positions of increasing responsibility, culminating as an anesthesiology consultant to the Army Surgeon General during the period of 31 May 2007 to 31 May 2017. Colonel Croll's myriad of accomplishments were characterized by the absolute highest standard of leadership, professionalism, and dedication. His exemplary performance of duty was in keeping with the highest traditions of military service and reflect great credit upon him, the Regional Service, Health Command Central, and the Army Medical Department and the United States Army. Signed, Thomas R. Temple, Jr., Major General, U.S. Army, Commanding. Please be seated.